where people need to go from one camp to the other. It morphs, it turns, like we talked about with Reagan Democrats, like you talk about with Rockefeller Republicans. I mean, it's all twisting and turning and moving around. The pendulum swinging both ways is not because people change different uniforms. The pendulum swinging both ways is because people's mindsets change. So today's centrist Democrat may be tomorrow's centrist Republican when they hit the ballot box. I think that's the point, Amanda.
It is, and I don't think that we're going to see, certainly not in the next few decades, maybe not even our lifetimes, I don't think we're going to see a permanent realignment where people subscribe to party loyalty. But we will have people who, because of at least more information and better access to information, might be more inclined to tilt one way or another. And that's really the goal, I think, rather than just increasing party enrollment. It's getting that comfort zone to say, oh, well, the Republican Party and I agree on most things. I'll just go for their candidate.
I got you. Hey, listen, thanks for calling in. We really appreciate it. Amanda Kohut, where can people find you on the Twitters and all that other fun stuff?
You can find me on the Twitters at Amanda Kohut, Kohut, or my website, www.amandakohut.com.
All right. Thanks for calling in. Glad you accepted the challenge. We knew you wouldn't shy away. Appreciate it a lot.
Never.
We'll talk to you soon. Never.
Bye,
we love
guys.
it. Bye.
What is wrong with rhinos?
You know what? There's a lot wrong with rhinos, but I think Amanda is worried about the integrity of the party. And I don't think we need to worry about that. I think we need to worry about winning.
But that's what I want to say.
And then we can worry about the integrity of the party.
This is where I'm going with this. Rhinos just don't want the Republican Party to win.
No,
they don't want a conservative to win it.
They don't want the Republican Party to change.
No, this isn't true. They don't want the Republican Party to win. That's it. If it was Ted Cruz in the lead, she would have a problem with it. Donald Trump, nowhere near a real conservative. You're not going to see him out there with the Tea Party people. He has no idea about farming. The guy's not a conservative in the classical sense of anti-abortion or anti-gay marriage or pro-life. He's not any of those things.
You know what?
So this should be a rhino's wet dream.
I agree with you totally. Just want to let you know, Nikki Haley's speech to the nation in response to the State of the Union is online right now. Governor Nikki Haley's Republican address to the nation. And here's a good soundbite from it. We need to be honest with each other and with ourselves. While Democrats in Washington bear much responsibility for the challenges facing America today, they do not bear it alone. There is more than enough blame to go around. I didn't hear that from President Barack Obama. I heard that he did a great job, Republicans tried to stop him, and he pushed through a lot. That tells you right there. To me, Republicans are missing the boat. Because when you're fighting someone who says, I'm totally right and you're totally wrong, by consenting that you did some things wrong, you are giving ground already. And while I appreciate the sentiment, and I know that Republicans need to own that truth as we go forward, I think we need to also be able to call out that other side and say, you know what? It wasn't all sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows everywhere. You did a lot wrong. I just don't get why.
Name one thing they did wrong.
Solyndra, Benghazi, shovel-ready jobs. The list goes on and on. I mean, we talk about a whole bunch of different things.
Well, Obama claimed in the speech that our whole energy sector is different now. We don't rely on fossil fuels as much.
Well, Joe got on that, so
Joe Biden took care of it.
Joe Biden's going to cure cancer. Can everybody just jump up and down and be happy about that? Can you be happy for one moment that Joe Biden, the man we all love to make fun of, he's going to go out there into the world, and within the next year, before President Obama leaves, I guess, Joe Biden's been given the keys to the cancer wagon, and he's going to find that cure if he has to look under every last rock and boulder in the nation. Joe, get on that, Joe.
By the way, all right, so my favorite comment in the chat room so far, Very Terry has asked, she asked earlier on, did he mention the sailors in Iran, referring to the 10 sailors that Iran is holding captive right now? And I answered, no, he did not. And then she wrote back, yikes, wow, maybe he doesn't know.
And that typifies the Obama administration. Well, isn't that what you always said?
He claims
I was not aware of this. I always found out from the news.
I found out from watching CNN. I know he doesn't. He claims in the State of the Union that he reads his daily intelligence briefing every day. I highly doubt that. There's been several sources at high levels that says that he rarely ever looks at the briefing in the mornings. So he doesn't really know what the hell is going on any given day. So excellent comment, Terry.
We're at halftime here on Behind Enemy Lines. I'm Gene, he's Russ, and while we got you listening, please check out www.BehindEnemyLinesRadio.us. You can check us out on the Facebook and the Twitters at BEL_radio. And if you miss any portion of this live show here on Spreaker, you can check us out on any of our internet networks and affiliates, and also on AM radio at WNJC 1360 AM, on Rebooting Liberty Radio Network, Red State Talk Radio, High Plains Daily News Radio, and Sackheads Media, K98 Talk, and then, of course, on iTunes, Player FM, Podbay, TuneIn, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio on demand anytime you want. Russ?
Yeah, that's
Haley.
Great stuff. I mean, I love all those. Usually when you start mentioning all the websites and stuff, I fall asleep for a good minute.
I stumped him is what I did. I'm reading through Nikki Haley's speech here, Russ.
I think we should skip Nikki Haley.
You want to skip Nikki Haley? Because she actually mentions the 10th Amendment.
Yeah,
she mentions the
good
Second
for
Amendment.
her. I'm tired of...
It's what you come to expect from a response to the Democratic State of the Union.
Listen, if the Republican Party doesn't get their ass out of their head soon, I don't know what's going to happen here. We keep picking guys, or mostly girls, it seems lately, to give the response to be politically correct.
Oh, come on.
Listen, Nikki Haley is great. I love her. But come on, I had enough of this. To me, it's like white males need not apply. I had enough. I'm moving on. Let's get to another woman, Hillary Clinton.
Where was she tonight?
Where the hell was she? I'll tell you where she might want to be. She might want to be speaking to her lawyers. Because I've predicted this since over about a year now. I am telling you people, Hillary Clinton will be indicted before this election. It's damn near impossible at this point for her to survive to Election Day without being indicted. There's proof now in emails that have surfaced that she said, before you email me any classified material, please erase the classification banner off those emails. That's it.
If that's not
a
If
felony.
that's not a smoking gun, I don't know what is.
Hillary Clinton is going to be indicted. I don't know how many times I have to keep saying this. I'm getting excited because I know it's close. Preet Bharara, where are you, bro? Like, come on. You put people in jail in New York State for far less. What is happening here?
Oh, my goodness. You know, at a time when we should be talking about the State of the Union, but this is what happens with a lame duck president. We have a race on right now, and Hillary Clinton is now... Barack Obama is no longer the target. The lame duck had his last go on in the pond. We're now looking forward.
But speaking of lame ducks, when Hillary Clinton gets indicted, are they going to have to take Joe Biden out of the crypt and prop him up on stage and get him to run? What's going to happen?
But haven't they set Joe up for failure now? What if he doesn't find the cure for cancer?
But him and Bernie Sanders, is there anyone under 90 years old in the Democratic Party that can run for president?
Oh, my goodness.
Is there anyone with their own teeth willing to run for president in the Democratic Party this year?
You mean to tell me that Chelsea Clinton wouldn't be on deck?
You might as well throw Chelsea up there. But she has a war on women problem too, because guess what? Her father is a sexual predator, a deviant, a Bill Cosby, Bill Clinton, accused rapist. Come on. Donald Trump is going to mop the floor with whoever gets up there. God, I hope it's Hillary. It looks like Bernie Sanders might be able to eke out a win in some of these early states.
Bernie Sanders is actually leading right now, I believe, in Iowa and New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, he's killing her, and in Iowa, he's within the margin of error. What is happening in the Democratic Party?
And if you notice, the questions have turned from Bernie Sanders, so what happens if you don't win Iowa and New Hampshire? Now the questions have turned to, what if you don't win South Carolina and Florida? And Bernie's got the right answer. He's like, well, 6 months ago you were asking about these two states, so I guess we're making progress, aren't we? Oh, and I would love, God, make this happen. I would love to see a Bernie Sanders debate with either Ted Cruz or Donald Trump. I would love, oh my God, that would be, you know how much fun that would be? Admiral Stockdale Redux.
But this is what people understand, like even with Amanda and some of the rhinos who listen, Donald Trump is terrific for the Republican Party. You had mentioned this earlier. Whether he wins or not is almost irrelevant at this point. He's getting millions of people to tune into Republican debates to hear our ideas that normally would not do so. And if you better believe if he's debating a socialist, Either one of the socialists that are running, either Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders. If he's debating a socialist, we win. And I'm talking about the party, not just Donald Trump.
And if you notice, again, Hillary Clinton could not answer the question. What is the difference between a socialist and a Democrat? You would think after Debbie Wasserman Schultz screwed up that question that she would be ready for it. But again, last week, Hillary got asked that question, and guess what? She had no answer. She deflected. Because, like Russ said, there is no difference. At this point, what does it matter?
How could
what
a Democrat running for president or the head of the DNC not have a canned answer ready for what is the difference between a socialist and a Democrat?
Oh, that's simple, Russ. They're not that bright. I mean,
or there really is no difference. That's the real scary part. They know there's no difference.
And you know what? I might be denial on that because I firmly believe that there are some Democrats out there who are definitely not socialists.
But those are your Reagan Democrats or Trump Democrats, and they don't even know that they're not Democrats
and you
anymore.
Stole the answer right out of my mouth because those are the people that are going to turn this election for whoever the Republican is. You know what, Russ? I think it might be time for our last break before the end of the show.
Please tell me that's who I think it is.
We're going to do a little Reverend Al.
I need it. Another Democrat that ran for president once. Disaster.
Yes. We give equal time here. We let rhinos on the show, and we let Reverend Al speak. Here's some vintage Reverend Al for everybody out there as you are taking your break from the State of the Union and from Election 2016 nonsense. Gene and Russ behind enemy lines will be back after Reverend Al. The show will be right back. But first, a word from Al Sharpton.
Good evening, Rev.
Is that your headset?
Yeah.
Thanks to Rev. You, Ed. Is this Groundhog Day 2 we are watching? Yeah. That was Attorney General Eric Holder, ABDs, about some Republicans at home are already beating the drums of war. Today, the Pentagon refuted that claim. And he said the American people do not want him to, quote, dwindling, they do not want him dwindling his thumbs. You can get a gig as a contortionist. Intravenous fluids and pills coated with gelatin. We don't leave our women or men in uniform behind. It's a monument to the hubris of Dick Cheney, Representative Raul Labrador. Years of abuse. I personally apologize to Mr. Peebles. Just ask to soon-to-be former Congressman. Democrats are outright jitty. CIA's counterterrorism center. Veteran Affairs Secretary Shinseki. Why do I always mess up his name? Shinseki. I love my critics. I have fun with that.
Politics Nation with the Reverend Al Sharpton starts right now. Good evening, Rev.
Good evening, Dr. Dyson.
But wait, there's more.
And we will much about that be committed. So there's no real conflict. Michael Druniak, including Lincoln himself, Daniel Day-Lewis. Behind Monica Lewinsky, the one and only Trey Songz is here. But Allison Lundergan Grimes, Gina Day Jesus. When Gina Day Jesus, Tea Party challenger Matt Bivens. People don't want to have their Social Security overall. The Republican savior, Mark Rubio's big night. In evolution and Galileo, this whole thing of Galileo, America's changed. Unless IT and Skillets, President Putin doing something similar back in, it won't change this fundamental fact about the GOP. Just how absurd these attacks is. Nearly 6 months after the dangerous traffic jam, the Thai military says, my friend for many years, Ilyana Van Zandt. There's nothing there.
And they gave this guy a TV show? Let's get back to our show. Gene and Russ, back behind enemy lines. Always good to hear from Reverend Al. He's now buffoon emeritus here at Beyond Enemy Lines. The reigning buffoon of the year, by the way, Russ, I don't know if you saw the results. Governor Rawlings Blake.
I don't know if you remember, I was boycotting, but I'm back now, I guess.
Yes, I know you were boycotting.
So Reverend Al won.
No, Reverend Al did not win. It's just that it's